I've been producing music on FL Studio for over 8 years now, and honestly, I thought I would never leave. But after switching to Ableton, it completely changed the way that I make music. But before I get into the 5 reasons why I switched, I want to talk about what I actually look for in a DAW, because that's the real reason this change made sense for me. So for me, a DAW isn't just a tool, it's like my canvas, and I'm a painter. I also spend most of my time in one, so it's obviously got to work in my favor. The most important thing for me when I'm making music is that it lets my ideas come to life with as little resistance as possible. When you're in that flow state, that moment where ideas are just flowing, the last thing that you want is to be slowed down by menus, pop-ups, or any of that technical stuff. Every second that you spend trying to find that issue, fix that routing, or finding a button is a second where your creativity is fading. And more often than not, it's actually really difficult to get back into that same flow state, or it might take a couple of minutes. The second thing for me is stability. I've honestly lost count of how many times a crash has ruined a great session. I honestly don't think there's a bigger mood killer than when you're having a good time making music and all of a sudden your DAW freezes and crashes. Like it's such a mood killer. Not to mention you've probably lost 15 minutes of progress and then you've got to do that process again, trying to remember what ideas you just put in their DAW. Third is how available it is. I want to be able to open my project on any machine, anywhere, and knowing it will just work. And finally, community matters. Music isn't just a solo thing. I collaborate with a lot of other musicians, and it helps when those musicians and producers also work in the same program as you. Sharing projects, racks, or even just ideas, it becomes so much easier. So yeah, that's what I look for in a DAW. Something that helps me stay creative, doesn't get in the way, doesn't crash, and lets me connect with other musicians. And honestly, for me, Ableton just ticks all of those boxes. So let me show you why I switched to Ableton from FL Studio. The first and probably most important reason why I changed from FL Studio to Ableton is just workflow and speed. So like probably one of the biggest things when it comes to Ableton that I absolutely love is the ability to duplicate whole groups or even just the whole project, matter of fact, with two presses of a button. So Command and D is going to duplicate this whole hit bass group with every single serum instance, with every single effect, setting, and even automation. So for example, if I want to change just one little section of it, instead of having to go through one by one like you would on FL Studio, and I'll show that in just a second, I can just Command D, give it a little second, and there we go. The whole thing is duplicated with all of the automations. As you can see here, all of the exact same automations have been duplicated. And yeah, that's just a huge game changer. Whenever you want to make a variation of something, it's so easy. Another big one for me is definitely being able to copy MIDI very easily. So you literally just copy it across channels. And it really is that simple. Now, if we go over to FL Studio and how you do it here. So let's say I wanted to copy this main lead. So I believe there is a clone thing here, so I can just clone that, but it's not actually made a unique instance. It's only just cloned it on the playlist. So now I'd have to go in and find wherever the plugin is on the pattern, and then I would have to clone that, and then I would have to take the MIDI, and imagine if you had different variations of your pattern in the MIDI here. So then I would have to go over here, find a new mixer channel for it. So I'd have to go in here, maybe insert one channel, which is only a new thing. Before that, you had to grab them from the left. So let's put this onto 25. That's the new one. And now I'd have to copy all of the effects as well. So I'd have to save the mixer track state, and then I would have to go through and copy all the automations because, as you can see, none of them are actually working because they're all routed to the other one. So that is just, why is it so complicated? Another reason why I like it as well, because I can clearly see everything that I'm working on. Everything is on one screen. That's from the audio or MIDI to the actual, I guess you even have a mixer on screen. You have every single effect at the bottom there. as well as the plugins themselves, which is huge. Being able to see everything that you've got going on means there's a less chance of you missing something, and you might just run into some issues of not being able to find stuff. Everything is literally at your fingertips. Now in FL Studio, there's a couple of menus that you have to cycle through. First of all, there's a channel rack, where you're going to see all of your VST plugins / audio samples. I guess you can kind of see your audio samples on the audio here, as well as the patterns and automations. And then don't forget about the mixer as well, which is separate, and there's no way to access any of these plugins unless you go on the mixer, which is a bit of a shame. But then again, I don't really understand how else they would do it. It's two different programs. It's just the way they work. And then probably the last thing that is just so good about Ableton is the ability to solo entire sections very easily. So say if I wanted to side or just listen to all the basses, I can do that very easily just by pressing S. And then say if I wanted to listen to this atmosphere and this atmosphere here, I can command click them and then press S and then just hear those two. Then say if I wanted to hear the whole synth bus on top of that, if I just keep holding control, it's really that easy. What else is there to say? It's one button. However, on FL Studio, if you want to solo something, there's a couple of ways you can do it. I think most people, the way they do it is they right click here, and then you're like, oh wait, I actually forgot to do the automation. So let me just go find all of them. And not everyone's project is as organized as mine. So you'll be flicking through here. You might have accidentally muted it. So then you've got to go back to this menu and you're like, oh my God, why can't I hear it? Oh, right, yes, I've got it muted on the mixer. It's just not smooth enough for me. So yeah, it's just loads of little things. I say little, they make a big difference to me that, you know, really make me prefer Ableton just for workflow. It's so much faster. So reason 2 why I switched is actually the recording in Ableton. During the time of when I made the switch, I was doing a lot of vocal recording sessions and songwriting sessions with other singers and musicians. I would constantly get asked by the, vocalist in the session and be like, oh, can we add another layer of vocals, harmony or something? And to be honest, in FL Studio, like if you're using a template and you've got your effects loaded onto the vocal, and say you've used up all of these, which this is quite a lot, and I have run into this problem before where I've got all of these filled with different vocals, with different plugins, and the vocalist says, oh, can we just add in one more harmony? And it annoyed me because it felt like I was doing a chore rather than creating music. Whereas in Ableton, again, I can just duplicate this whole chain, which has, got my whole vocal template on it, and then just remove the audio with one button, and then we're good to go. It's really easy. Another huge thing for me is the take lanes. So if you record over a bit of audio, I hope Jess, the vocalist on this, doesn't mind me showing. And I feel something strong like... just a little snippet of this, what track we're working on. So say if I didn't like that bit, I could go into here because we've recorded multiple takes and they're like stacked on top of each other. I can press this, enter, and be, scrub through the individual words and be like, okay, maybe I prefer this word here. And this all gets changed real time and it all gets crossfaded as well. So that is another huge W for me. Not to mention that I feel like low latency recording just works way better in Ableton. I don't know what it is about FL Studio. It's just not very good at handling fast latency. I don't know if it was my computer or what it was, but yeah. And kind of relating onto the point of vocals and just mixing in general, the third point why I switched to Ableton is because of the rack system. Now, if you don't know what the rack system is, you can essentially save and create your own plugins, racks. So what I have here is a load of plugins that I've saved as one group, which then I can set macros to here. So say if I want this vocal into the other side to have more, long reverb, I've mapped this myself, and as you can see here, here's all my effects, which are all EQ'd and they're all track spaced as well. So I can quickly just adjust my settings on the go, load up the rack, and boom, we're ready to move. You can make this for anything like bass racks, vocal racks, just even a EQ, create your own stuff. You can be so creative with it, and you can save a lot of time. On FL Studio, you can do a similar thing. You can save your own mixer states. So there's a few default ones
ones. So you can save your mixer state as, and then load it in. So it's kind of like a similar thing, but it's nowhere near as modular, I don't feel. The fact you can't have macros. I know there is Patcher, but let's be honest, like who goes through that effort? I feel like it's really kind of difficult and niche for people to use Patcher. And the fact it's hidden behind a plugin menu is really not ideal anyway. So the fourth reason why I switched from FL Studio to Ableton is the audio handling and warping. In FL Studio, the way that everyone kind of does it is, say you grab a sample. So this one is 118 BPM. We're in 174. So the way you do it is go to resample here, type in the tempo, and this is all fine. I don't really have an issue with this. I don't feel like this takes ages. I did this for years. And then you've got it time stretched. But then say you wanted, say if one of these sections was slightly out of time, like that, I feel like that could get moved to the left slightly. This moved to the left. There is a way to do it in Edison, I believe. Is it the time warper? So there is. And yeah, this is in Newtone, which is not even in the base version of FL Studio. Like this is a separate plugin you have to buy. And I just don't feel like it's very easy to use. Like, yes, I'm using it. But compared to the Ableton one, so say if I wanted to warp it now, I have multiple different modes that actually all do different things. Whereas in FL Studios, they are all just different algorithms. Like this one preserves beats, and this one's best for preserving like pitch and formants and things like that. So I'm just going to type in the BPM, which is 100. Nice, cool beats. But yeah, now if I wanted to, like, say this is slight out of time, I just double click and I move it. And you can see it move in real time. There's no extra Windows plugins. It's just so intuitive. Say you wanted to stretch this out. It's going to sound a bit funky, but you can do it. And I think that is like a huge reason, especially if you're working with vocals and real-time vocals. Sometimes when a singer just gets something a little bit off, it's so easy to move it in. I think there's a way to, I don't know if that's Logic actually, where you can press a button and it automatically kind of puts it on grid for you. But yeah, that feature in Ableton, I absolutely love. And the last reason why I switched is stability, CPU, and performance. I don't know what it is. I just think Ableton handles large projects a lot better. As you can see, this project in Ableton is a song I've been working on with Reconnect and Jess Robbins. I know it says Tycho at the top. He's changed his name. But yeah, it's a very big project. There's like 200 tracks. There's an awful lot of serums. It's not finished yet. But when I kind of play the track, if I'm just going to play the drop a little bit, I don't want to give too much away. Into the other side. It was sitting at an average of 30% at CPU, and that's not using any tricks. I've not bounced anything down to audio. The only audio you see is samples. It's not like I've gone light on the plugins either. These vocal racks and stuff, they're pretty hefty, as you can see. There's a lot of them. So yeah, it just runs, and it almost never crashes for me. I don't think I've ever had an experience with Ableton. I've been using it since February. It's now October, where I've lost a huge amount of progress. I think maybe it's crashed on me twice where I've lost like 10 minutes. On FL Studio, it was like a monthly thing where I'd lose, I don't know, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes a month, which isn't a whole lot, but it would happen so much more, especially the bigger my projects got, the worse this issue became. And again, if I go back here to FL Studio, this project is not very big, but like how much CPU does it run at? Again, another unreleased track, so I'm not going to play too much of it. And as you can see at the bottom, there's not that many plugins really compared to what I have in Ableton, and there's certainly not that many sounds in it. This is just the audio, and yeah, there's not that much, and it's running at what, 40% CPU, which is pretty crazy. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just me or yeah, it just runs better for me. Can't complain with simple logic, right? And not to mention that yeah, FL Studio would just crash constantly. And it also just sucks on Mac. Like on PC, it was a lot better, but on Mac, no. However, there are a couple things that I do miss about FL Studio, and I think a lot of you that use it know what I'm going to say, and that is the piano roll. It just is fabulous. Whoever made this cooked. Everything about this is just perfection. However, I think that's the one downside of it. It is so good that you never truly learn to use a keyboard yourself. As much as I love this and as much as I hate this, I can appreciate both of them. You can use your keyboard to do some pretty crazy things with this, and just entirely kind of not touch the mouse, although I'm not very good at it, which isn't an issue. So like, yeah, right now I'm not touching the keyboard, and some people are pretty cracked at this. It's forced me to learn to play like the piano properly. So now I know keys, scales, modes. My music theory has like leveled up so much. Yeah, I think it was such a good step for me in like my music career to actually learn this stuff, and I'm grateful. As much as I hate it, I miss my baby, but yeah, I'm glad I made the switch regardless. And then the last thing I miss, kind of a minor thing, but I just prefer this mixer visually. I think it just looks a bit nicer. I also like that you can put it on extra large and see all the plugins and click into it. So on Ableton, the mixer is in the other view, the live view, whatever you call it, session view. I don't even know. And I mean, this isn't bad. It's not horrible. I can see what's going on, right? I just wish the names were a bit bigger. And then just a couple of extra things. I like how easy organization is. I'm big on my organization, maybe not by this project because it's not finished. You see all these kind of default colored things. I can click here, assign track color to grouped, whatever, and boom, everything is now that color. Another thing is automations. Like, this is so much easier, being able to hide them all and then finding automation and be like, where is it? Where is it? The fact that you can kind of see them all is super useful and really, really like underrated, because not all I don't want to see it all the time, you know? So definitely like a welcome change. I also like the browser windows as well. And I find myself using like the search function a lot more. Say if I want a snare, I will just look through my entire library rather than going to like my A sample pack. I'm trying to think if I've missed anything. I definitely have. And by no means am I an expert on Ableton. But yeah, also another thing that I really don't miss is this whole menu. Oh my God, this is horrendous. And then when you go to type in more plugins, like the fact that has to load for a minute and only then can you access your plugins, and then, yeah. Not ideal.
For me, switching over from FL Studio to Ableton wasn't about starting over. It was about leveling up my workflow. Every producer's setup and technique should evolve just as their music does. For me, Ableton just made that evolution a whole lot easier. The speed, the recording workflow, the racks, it all just made me more creative, not distracted. I'll be diving deeper into some of these features on this channel in the future, so if you want to watch that, make sure you subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a bit of a different one from me, but let me know if you want more of this content in the future. Thanks for watching, and remember, it's not the DAW that's best, it's the one that works best for you. And with that, have a good one. Peace.